Show. It's time for the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. Blake Sloan, one of the top real estate agents not only on the Grand Strand, but in the world. He's been featured in Forbes magazine, the Wall Street Journal, NBC, and many other publications. And now, the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. Welcome in once again. It is time for the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. We'll be talking to Blake coming up in mere seconds. In the meantime, grab yourself something to write with or grab your phone and put this information in there. 843-808-SOLD. You're saying, what is that? That's the phone number to get in touch with Blake Sloan at his office at Sloan Realty Group. Again, that's 843-808-SOLD. We'll repeat that several times over the next 30 minutes in case you didn't get it this time. Also, the website is blakesloan.com, blakesloan.com. Big show to get to, so let's get to it. Hey, Blake.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Got an awesome brand new show as usual. We got the brand new market numbers in from last month, and they're very interesting to say the least, especially when you get into new construction. And so, because we're like in the heat of the market, right? And so some of those numbers will still come in, but we'll go over those. But kind of some stuff was down a little bit in certain areas. Some was up, and so we'll talk about that as well. Some huge news in the mortgage world. Remember last week we talked about a low. We just hit a 12-month low this past week. Rates dropped back below 4%, which is huge for us, especially in our area, in our time, right? We're very seasonal. So we'll talk about that and what kind of impact that's going to have for anyone thinking about buying or selling in this summer market here. And that's something we're super excited about. We have an amazing success story that I'm super proud of. Two of them. One's a veteran who had been searching for a home for 15 years, was not able to get one. And we helped him get one. So I'm super proud of that. We'll talk about that. I'll tell some awesome stories about my team and I too. I did that 10-mile Spartan race last week in Fayetteville. Oh, yeah. And it's like between 8-10 miles. My watch said 12.2 at the end. So there's all these little side things. But it was awesome, man. We had a really good time. A lot of lessons there, a lot of crazy. And we'll talk about there as well. And also we got another thing too we'll get to, just talking about a lot of things that's super neat about making sure you prepare your house to sell. There's a lot of things that we kind of have that'll help you, kind of some seller home staging tips that you can do yourself that we help our clients. You know, I'll share that list. I think there's 12 of them we'll share as well.
All right, sounds good. Well, a lot of stuff to get to, and like I said, we're just getting started. Coming up in just a few minutes, make sure to be listening. But if you're just listening right now and you don't know exactly who you're listening to, okay, you may have just tuned in for the very first time. That's great. What you're listening to is the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. Who's Blake Sloan? He's been called the Real Estate Whiz Kid, been featured in Forbes magazine. You've seen him in Realtor magazine, a Wall Street Journal, other national publications, on TV with NBC, and the morning show with Fox and Friends. You've heard the personal endorsements here from Sean Hannity, Glenn Beck, also Barbara Corcoran, Gary LaVox, and more. Put them all together, it's unprecedented in the real estate world. Now, each and every week, Blake lets you know a little bit about the trademark systems that he has for both home sellers and home buyers. Now, they are trademark systems, so they're kind of like secrets that he holds, but he will reveal you that secret and that information if you come along with him. Now, he won't give you all the information here on the air today, but he's very happy to let you know what the most important part of your trademark system is.
Yeah, this is like I said, this is my calling kind of at my career, my life right now. It's kind of this whole aspect of it, right? Really, especially here in our show, like why we do this show, because it comes down to all the horror stories we hear, all the horror stories I see, all the horror stories that we fix. And we'll talk about two stories today in a minute. There's a second one from a lady who was searching for a home for 10 years, multiple agents, unsuccessful, almost gave up before she found us. And guess what we did? Helped you get into a house. And so the reality is there's so many variables in buying or selling a house that they have to be managed proactively. And so basically, the single most important variable that basically determines your success or failure as a home seller comes down to one thing only, and that's the agent you choose, period, because it has to do with how they actually execute. So, for example, when you're selling a house, there's 118 different variables from A to Z. Each one's handled correctly. Guess what? That puts money in your pocket, property gets sold. Anything's handled incorrectly, aka they drop the ball at any point. Guess what that does? that costs you money, specifically your hard-earned equity. And so we see this all the time. And so what makes us a little different is we identified every single one of those variables. That's how we know there's 118. Most agents don't even know there's 118. They're just winging it, right? They're just along kind of basically just juggling all the balls, trying to get as many deals as they can, because you have one single agent trying to do everything, which is almost impossible. And so what we did is we designed a system that's proven and repeatable, that creates maximum leverage every single point. And so what we do is we stack the dominoes. There's a huge gap between us and everyone else at the end, but we practically manage those variables. So like, what are those? That could be, if you're a home seller, it could be the quality of your photos, right? If they look great online, they just look okay, right? Does that agent you have answer the phone when buyers actually call? Are they answering at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, right? Are they answering leads that come online? All these things that go into play and how your property is positioned will make or break, obviously, getting sold, and also the amount that it gets sold for. And so I will talk about that in a second, but basically what is called the guaranteed sold system, the only proven system that sells twice as fast and for up to 20% more money than traditional methods, and it works, right? We designed it here. I designed it. We licensed other agents, other parts of the country, but it works very well. But what it does is it gives our client a huge competitive advantage. And so it works the same way every single time. So for example, that race, right? Some people finish in 2 hours, some finish in 4 hours, some finish in 5 hours. And so what it does is incrementally you increase basically the speed of the home sale. And so like a marathon, I tell that example all the time. Some people finish 2 and 3 hours ahead of people in a marathon in the same exact distance. And so that's something that our process does. It creates small gaps and small leverage. So at the end, you have a huge competitive advantage. That's how we're able to sell homes that could not get sold before. That's how we're able to help people buy homes who could not buy homes before. And so on the flip side of that, guess what? It's the same exact thing for a home buyer, right? Your success or failure comes down to the agent you choose, specifically how you're guided. And so the reality is there's 100 plus variables when you're buying a home. And so we did the same exact thing there. We designed them all step by step to stack up basically your advantage. And so we call it the unfair advantage home buying system. Only proven system to get you priority access to foreclosures, distress sales, desperate sellers, the absolute best negotiation in home price, and also through the home inspection process. And so bottom line is both of those are designed as a system that gives you the same type of advantage every single time. Not the agent's feeling good or feeling bad. Not if they show up that day or not. Everything happens the same way every single time. And so you got to set yourself up to win by having a system like that to protect you when you're buying or selling.
All right. A lot of good stuff, and we're just getting started. Make sure and stick around, because coming up in just a second, we'll find out the most important numbers you're going to be hearing all weekend. That's your mortgage rates. Also, like Blake said, we've got a brand new update on the market. We'll see what's going on and how that's going to be affecting you and how things are selling in your zip code as well. That's all coming up in just a second. Get in touch with Blake Sloan at Sloan Realty Group. The phone number is 843-808-SOLD, 843-808-SOLD. Or you can go online to BlakeSloan.com, BlakeSloan.com.
Hey, if you were in the market to make the most money for your home, Sean Hannity here with some important advice. Now, look, I'm an active investor. I have bought and sold a lot of properties in hot, cold, moderate markets. And one of the lessons I have learned is this. Hire the agent that knows how to create the most demand for your home. Now, if I needed to create demand in this market, no question, there's only one real estate agent I trust if I needed to sell my home. I'm talking about Blake Sloan of Sloan Realty Group. Now, he services the entire Myrtle Beach area, attracts hundreds of buyers every week, and sells a home on average every 24 hours. Now, that helps you generate multiple offers and sell your home for the most money possible. Plus, it's like getting an immediate offer on your home, because if your home doesn't sell for the price and the deadline you agree to, you will have it bought for cash, and he offers flexible fees. Find out how much demand your home can command right now. Call the agent that creates the most demand. Call Blake Sloan today at 808-SOLD. That's 808-SOLD. Or online at BlakeSloan.com. That's BlakeSloan.com.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. To sell your home on time for the most money, you need a sharp agent with a marketing strategy that creates the most demand. Bottom line, you need a partner willing to put their own money on the line for you. In Myrtle Beach, I would hire Blake Sloan. His international marketing creates so much demand that if your home doesn't sell at a price and deadline you agree to, Blake will buy it. Partner with an agent I trust. Go online or call and get your home sold.
The Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan, coming up in just a minute. Mortgage rates. Where are they now? Where are they heading? Right now, though, let's get an update on what's happening around the Grand Strand as far as the market is concerned. What are you seeing, Blake?
So got the brand new numbers in. Obviously, they're real time. We talk about this kind of disclaimer. Sometimes agents have to put their sales in. Well, they always have to, but they don't do it sometimes until like 15 days later, right?
Right.
So you'll see the numbers bump up a little bit, but we actually saw a decline in sales for May last month, which is kind of interesting to see, especially kind of with rates playing a part of that. So, for example, there's 542 home sales for resale homes. That's kind of what you gauge the market with, because that's what most of the sales are, right? So you want to look at what are resales doing, because that's what most everyone owns here, unless you're a builder. And so the reality is there's 542 homes sold last month in our MLS or Georgetown County versus 572 in May of last year. And so if you look at month versus month, a 5.2% decrease. A bunch of factors in there. We'll probably see that bump up about 2 to 3% once all the final numbers are in. And so not too bad out there, obviously, in that regard. The one thing you will obviously want to look at is price. And so price we're seeing was almost kind of flat. It's only up 1.2%. And so the median price at 227,000 right now. And so that's just something that you want to kind of watch versus May of last year is 224, 250. So from my perspective, I'm seeing a little bit of flattening out. If you remember, it was almost double-digit growth there for a while, and we're seeing a little bit of softening. And a lot has to do with basically inventory. Was kind of low there for a while. You saw prices kind of climb, and you're seeing that happen where we're kind of equaling out. But the good news is everyone's still relocating here from other markets with a much higher average sale price. And so we'll keep watching what happens, but make sure you take advantage of this as a home seller, especially in our seasonality here in that regard. Looking at inventory, inventory is back down again, down 1.8%. So there's 5.4 months of inventory. What that means is there's still actually, basically it's a seller's market still. And so anything below 6 months is obviously a seller's market. And so that sometimes can bring some fatigue out there in certain price ranges. And so what we've seen, right, in the lower price ranges, the 150s, 100s, there's just not that much out there, if anything at all, sometimes. And so that can in a way affect sales a little bit. But the one thing's a little concerning, though, is watching price level out, where that's kind of the lowest I've seen it be since we've been tracking this for a while now, since the overall recovery. If you look at this, the 12-month rolling average, it's up 6.1%. And so the last month you're seeing that kind of level out on the graph. And so great news, though, median price right now, 227,000, which is good, obviously. The one thing, too, that was interesting in the whole report was new construction. New construction sales down 29% last month, which is huge, right? And so we're not really sure that's the second month in a row it's been that low there. The great news for them, obviously, price is still going pretty well. Price up 4.2%. And so that's kind of, it's very interesting. And that has to do with kind of, I think, what availability we have here in the area. They're opening up new neighborhoods. You saw maybe the article this week about the two big neighborhoods there to open up. And so we'll keep watching that and seeing, but it's definitely interesting to watch. I mean, you're not seeing a huge steady climb like it was. Inventory is flat, exactly where it was, 5.4 months of inventory right now for new construction. And so that's just something we'll continue to watch. But it is something that I don't think we're seeing like a slowdown or anything, for here compared to a lot of areas. But condo sales were also down last month, down 6%, with 582 resale condos sold last month alone. Sales price on that was up 7.7%. So condos doing the best from a pricing standpoint. Median price right now, 136,750, and so that's something we'll see there as well. And they saw a little bit of a jump in inventory. Inventory jumped up 8.3% overall. And so what that means is we're going to keep watching, right? We're into the hottest parts of the market. I do think we'll see a little bit of a bump from interest rates dropping back below 4%. Anyone that kind of follows that is going to definitely see us a little shot in the arm for any buyers who've been on the fence, things like that. But most of our sales, at least my team, we're experiencing a lot of people from out of town, right? People who are selling a property up north, coming down here, they're planning their vacation, planning their getaway, and we're going to see a huge jump in, obviously, sales when you're getting people out of school. I think that just happened this past week here, and it's been happening for the past few weeks across the country. And so we're going to see that traffic pick up, just like, see more people in town. We have more buyers in town right now. Our team right now is running around like crazy, showing people in town, 2 and 3 families in town for each agent right now. So we'll keep watching that. One thing I'm going to keep driving that is interest rates, we talked about. Huge news this week where we just hit a 12-month low, 52-week low, right? It dropped below 4%. If you remember last week's show, it was 4.01%. Right now, 3.91, which is awesome news. This past week, it went as low as 3.89%. And that was kind of an overall average. We had some clients lock in 3.7s as well, which is awesome. 15-year fixed rate right now is 3.72%. 30-year FHA, 3.75%. That's awesome. That's 12-month low. It's been kind of sitting there overall. So that's a lot of times first-time buyers, right? You can get in with little money down, and that's something that's very, very valuable to kind of A lot of first-time buyers will see kind of drafts in the market here as well. 30-year jumbo loan, 3.92%, which is still awesome, right? You're getting a jumbo loan under 4% again, which is cool. A 5-year adjust rate mortgage right now, 3.88. And so it's interesting to watch because usually your adjust rate mortgage, your ARM, is usually lower than everything else. Right now, you can get a 30-year FHA for lower than you get a 5-year ARM for. And so definitely a good time for buyers out there. If you're a first-time buyer, reach out to someone, learn more about the FHA opportunity. There's so much opportunity there to get in a little money down. And there's a lot of great news. And so we'll keep watching, see what happens here in regards to how it affects us. I do think we'll see a jump this month. At least we're busy as we can be, and we'll keep watching what happens with prices as well.
All right, sounds good. All right, coming up in just a second, we've got a lot of great stuff coming up, so we will get to more of that in just a second, including your hot buyers alert, and we'll also check in to see what's going on as far as some of the great success stories that Blake has to share, and he will share them with you and tell you exactly why you need to be along with him on this ride as far as buying or selling. Give him a call today at Sloan Realty Group. The phone number is 843-808-SOLD, 843-808-SOLD, or go online to BlakeSloan.com, BlakeSloan.com.
Hey, Myrtle Beach, it's Gary LaVox, lead singer of Rascal Flatts. When I'm Moving On won the award for ACM Song of the Year, it struck a chord with folks who understand the challenges that come with life's big changes. For many, that happens when it comes time to sell their home. If you're moving on, you want a real estate agent who will make selling your home easy and stress-free. An agent who's willing to let you out of the contract if you're not happy with their service. That's why in Myrtle Beach, I can tell you that Blake Sloan of Sloan Realty Group markets your home on a whole different level. Now listen, Blake is so confident in his ability to sell your home quickly and for more money that he guarantees to sell it or he'll buy it himself. If you're moving on, trust Blake to provide your family a stress-free home sale experience. Find Blake Sloan online at BlakeSloan.com, or you can call him at 843-808-SOLD. Start packing.
The Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. Coming up in just a second, we've got some fantastic success stories that Blake is just dying to tell you about. Right now, though, it's time for your hot buyers alert. Blake and his team working with just a huge amount of home buyers and are looking for homes in the Myrtle Beach area. They need inventory. If you are anywhere in the range between $150,000 to $3.5 million on your home and you're looking to sell, even thinking of selling, call Blake immediately at that phone number we've been telling you about, 843-808-SOLD, 843-808-SOLD. So many people on his website right now. Now, this is Blake's website, and he's got active home buyers that have a username, password, and they've logged on, and they log on, and they log on, looking for homes in the Myrtle Beach area. Over 53,000 active home buyers looking for your home right this very second.
Yeah, real people. Like I said, username, password, account. Like that's so many 53,000 plus people from all over the globe searching our site. Because why is that? We spend massive amounts of money online driving traffic, right? What makes us different? I'm willing to invest the money up front, regardless, if we have a listing of your house, we're driving buyers from all over because our team model. So what makes us a lot different is you have a team, right? We have a team of over 15 buyer experts that work all day, every day serving buyers. And we have a team of listing experts. And so it allows me to invest more money, right? We outspend the average agent 100 to 1 and from a marketing standpoint. And so that's radio, TV, online, everything. And so what it does allows us to really stack up massive amounts of buyers. And so we need inventory. We need properties to sell. Obviously, we get paid to do what? Match up buyer and seller. And so that's something we're very good at. And we even create an algorithm that'll take any new listing that we get, it reverse engineers the most likely buyer for that property based on our previous search patterns. And so that's something we're getting next level of data and tools and technology where a lot of agents out there are still trying to figure out Microsoft Outlook, right? And so it helps us make sure that we can really make a big difference for you as a home seller. Right now on the site, Tony Cook from Matthews, North Carolina, been in here 240 visits, right? Looking at properties. And so it tracks everything. Stephen Kennedy from Chesterfield, North Carolina, 170 visits. James, I can't say last name there, from Phillipsburg, New Jersey, is 258 visits here. We got Michelle from Myrtle Beach, Nabil from Powell, Ohio, Chicago, Illinois here, Clover, South Carolina. And so the reality is we have buyers from all over. And so it gives us a huge advantage. And it goes back to what Sean Hannity said a few minutes ago, is that we create more demand for your house. Why? Because I'm spending money up front driving traffic, right? We study how business models work. And so best case scenario, we match up buyer to your house. We have buyer and seller. Worst case scenario, we serve the buyers, help them find another property in MLS through a different company. But what it does is it allows us to create more demand for your property. We talk about this analogy all the time, but just kind of recap on that. If you have a classic Corvette, you can probably put the classic Corvette out in the Walmart parking lot and potentially find a buyer, right? But if you take the same classic Corvette, put in every single classic Corvette enthusiast website, every classic Corvette enthusiast magazine, right? The chances are you're increasing demand, which obviously will increase what? The price. And so that's something we're able to do with our system, and having those systems in place allow me to spend more money to acquire new clients to help both buyers and sellers. So if you're thinking about selling, reach out, call us 843-808 sold. We need inventory, right? Because these buyers who are looking at 240 plus visits are searching. They haven't bought yet most of the time because they haven't found what they want. And so they stalk and they stalk and they stalk, and boom. And a lot of times they're investors or second home buyers. They'll just fly down that weekend, drive down that weekend once. And sometimes we just sold Barrett on our team. He just sold one this week where we had an out-of-town buyer. They saw the property online, loved it. He went out there, did a full video of the property for them. They pulled the trigger, wrote an offer contingent upon them flying down, seeing it that week. They did that. They liked it still, and they closed this past week. And so this happens all the time. So the reality is we have the buyers, right? Why? Because I spend the money to get the buyers. And so it's a different business model that allows us to have a huge advantage over the average agent. I looked at what people did outside of real estate and brought that model into real estate. And that's also why we're super intense, because we're investing the money up front, right? And so if you're thinking about selling, reach out, call us. If you want, I want to get these 2 or actually 3 success stories. I'm going to do things a little different this time because, so I don't ever do this, but I wanted to read a review. It's an unsolicited review. Anybody's like watching streaming online, it's just basically I just printed the Google review out. And like this one, touched my heart in a way. So I don't like to read these things, but I'm gonna kind of give you guys the overall things from Mara Smith. And so if she's listening, super appreciative. She said, "Hi, I wasn't sure what to expect when I signed on with Sloan Realty Group. My first 2 experiences with other agents made me feel like they weren't working for me. Like I felt lost with experience when I was looking for my home was not the experience that you want to experience. It was for my best interest, and I just wanted to quit. I have been trying to buy a home for at least 10 years. Not one time I feel like anyone had my back until I met my agent, Ren Floyd. So Ren's on our team. She's an amazing agent. We're very, very glad to have her part of our team. When I first met her, I went on faith. After my last 2 experiences, I really didn't want to look for homes anymore at all. I was like, if this is what you have to go through, I don't want to buy a house. You can't even trust the ones you think are help you, and that really hurts. But Ren Floyd, after we talked, she made me feel like I was a part of the team, made me feel like I was important because I was. My experience with her was on point. She was by my side through my cries. She says, me wanting to give up, she was right there encouraging me not to give up. My faith was stronger than I expected. She is definitely someone you can trust and believe me. She is no joke. When she said she's going to help find the house that you can call home, she will. My lender, Brunson, was also the best. He also encouraged me as well not to give up. The team of people that were on my side to get through this process, trust me, I couldn't have done it without them. They made me feel like I'm family. Trust me, they are the best. I would recommend them to the world. I know God had his hand in this as well as my faith. I got my house that I can now call home. That's pretty cool, right? That's very cool. And I was like, holy cow. And so, again, anyone out there, listening, right? And I hate to read that, but that was powerful. And so the reality is that's our culture. That's who we are. Like, I'm obviously intense, and I'm intense to our team to make sure that, we're able to serve our people. And like you heard Alex on the show a few weeks ago, we interviewed over 100 people to work for us in the month of April. And I think we hired 1 or 2 of those. And so that's because we deliver excellence to the clients I'm super proud of. But that's our culture, man. We're intense, and we want to serve to have clients for life. And we're very, very glad to have Mara as a client. Another one, too, I'm going to give out a shout out to is this is so weird to have 2 of these at the same time. Julio Martinez, right? He came to the office, and he had been listening to this station for years. He walked into the door and told us he had been listening to Sean Hannity, and Sean Hannity said to come to Sloan Realty Group. So he did, which is super cool. He got hooked up with Ryan. And so Julio is a veteran, right? And he had moved away from his family after, obviously, combat, things like that. But they are first-time home buyers who have been trying to buy for 15 years. So we came in, helped them through the process, identify strategy. Ryan on the team helped them get a new home, new construction home, right? We found the right home for them. Here's what he did, though. On a brand new construction home, which typically you don't get price off, you don't get money off, right? You just go buy a sticker. He got $10,000 off the front end, and he got $4,000 in closing costs. And so we basically got it set up. He walked away $2,500 check in hand when he closed on the house. And so powerful stuff. And so the reality is, like, why am I sharing these stories? Because we're able to get creative, right? We make deals happen. These 2 examples are people who've been searching for houses, trying to get through that process for over a decade, which is a record for both those. And it's so weird to have two of those in 1 week. But big shout out to them. Very, very thankful to have them as clients as well. And so one last one that, I'm kind of, I guess, super proud of too on the selling side. Patricia, she had a house to sell at Myrtle's Inlet. She needed to get it sold fast and for top dollar so she could move to Tennessee to be close to her family. She's on a super tight deadline, needed it sold ASAP, but everyone has that same problem.
Sure.
They need to get the most amount of money too, right? So it's always a balance there. And that's what we're really good at. So anyways, back to it. Basically, she was referred to us by her really good friend who we sold her property. And so we came in, helped design an exact strategy to try to find the sweet spot, basically get the most amount of money really quickly. Launched the Globe Marketing Blitz, professional photos, drove massive traffic. Within 2 weeks, had her all from the property for top dollar. Now she's able to move back to Tennessee. And the cool part about that is seamless. There's no stress. You got to worry about that. And that's, if you hear the show before, all those horror stories you hear all the time where basically they sat in the market for 6 months. I think we shared one last week where before us, she had on there 6 months, could not move back to family, right?
Yeah.
That was when she was taking care of her mom. And so the reality is we have story after story after story that this happens to us weekly. Why? Because we strive for excellence. If you're thinking about selling, reach out, call us. You can ask anyone on my team. I'm super intense. And I got how much time we got?
I still got about 2.5, 3 minutes.
So I'll talk about that story, right? The whole Spartan race. A second one. So we do these 90-day challenges in our office because we obviously push hard. And so it's an 8 to 10 mile race. Like I said, my watch had 12.2 at the end, so I'm not sure what happened there. But it's cool. And so I finished mine at 2 hours and 10 minutes. But I had two guys, both Alex and Ryan on our team that ran it with me. And they're both younger than me. I'm kind of like becoming the old guy now, right? And so the reality is they were talking all kind of smack for like weeks. They're going to smoke me and this and this and that. I beat them by 27 minutes. And so very, very proud. The old man came in and pushed hard. And so one of those things, why is that? Just I always tell my team, that's when the crazy comes out. We push ourselves hard in our bodies and our fitness and everything that we do to allow us to push harder in business. And we like a Facebook Live about it. But the reality is that's what our culture is. If you're looking to level up your career, reach out to me. More importantly, if you're looking for someone who's going to work hard as a team, as an agent, who strives for excellence in everything that we do, not just in the office, but in life, reach out to us and call us. And so one of the biggest lessons I learned was just it's all in your mind, right? My body was hurting. We had all these crazy obstacles and mud and water, and just kept pushing. It's the same exact thing that we do in business as well. So anyone thinking about it, definitely reach out and give us a call for sure.
So you finished in, was that a good time for you?
Yeah, 2 hours and 10 minutes. I beat my last time by 16 minutes. And yeah, there's a lady in our gym. She asked us, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, we were at 3 hours and 40 minutes or something, And so I push hard, man. I think I averaged, I don't know what they said, I don't know how many minute miles it was, like 12, 13 minute miles. We had to climb ropes and throw spears and crazy stuff, And so I was down for that.
So it wasn't just running; you had to do all that.
Oh, there's I think 29 or 30 obstacles that you got to climb, these ropes and all this crazy stuff. And so that was the cool part about it, where it's not just running, but it's all, you had to do monkey bars and all this crazy thing. So the reality is we're crazy both in business and out of business, and I'm proud of that. One thing my coach really kind of helped me embrace years ago, he's like, "Dude, you're not screwed up. You're just crazy, and that's okay." And so I take that, and I always laugh at my team when I push myself. That's when my crazy comes out in a good way, right? To push harder when other people quit, other people don't. We keep going with the same exact thing for you if we buy or sell with us.
I'm gonna have to get that bumper sticker. You're not crazy. You're not screwed up. You're just crazy.
Exactly right. I'll take it.
I like that. All right, you've been listening to the Real Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. If you'd like to get in touch with Blake, he is crazy about selling your home or getting a home that you want to buy. So give him a call today at his office. Again, that's 843-808-SOLD, 843-808-SOLD, or go online to BlakeSloan.com. BlakeSloan.com. We'll get together and do it again next week.
Oh, yeah, I'll be here.
All righty. It is the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan.
Selling your home doesn't have to be filled with drama or having to pay hidden fees. Hey, your